Hello and welcome to another episode of What's Inside. Today we're looking at a copy of Steve Jackson Games' Frag, with the motto, if it moves, shoot it. This is effectively a first-person shooter video game in a box. Now there's two versions of this one. There's this one, which is about 8.5 by 11, a little bigger. And then there's a smaller box. They have the same contents, just the one box is smaller and slightly thicker. I prefer that box, honestly. My copy got borrowed and never returned a while ago. But this is my other copy. And this one's fairly banged up. My other copy was in great shape. Unfortunately, that one didn't come home. And I didn't know where this one was, so I should have loaned this one out. But there were two expansions for it. Maybe we'll look at those some other time. But today we're just looking at the core box. This one is for Ages Mystery. This is product number 1339. No, there's an age recommendation on here somewhere. But yeah, it's contains one 21 by 33 two-sided full-color game map, 112 full-color game cards, 6 full-color character stand-ups, 6 and assorted counters, 6 plastic bases, full color rule sheet, massive amounts of simulated violence, which is exactly how I would describe it. Let's tear right into this and see what we've got. There's a warning here. This game contains violence and may cause excessive noise or involuntary urination. It's got a little kitty cat with a do not symbol on it. You can infer your own from that what that means. Alright, so first up we have a rule book here. Now this rule book's in really poor shape, but it's a very straightforward game. The expansions added a little more to them, but it's basically just a run and gun game. It's pretty simplistic, there's not a lot of complication, and that's what I liked about it, because I like easy games, because I'm not terribly intelligent some days. And when I'm dumb, I want a nice easy game of just running around shooting the enemy. One thing I did not, well, you'll notice this thing's all tore up. You gotta be real careful when buying this used, because people will tell you what the box looks like and the contents. They rarely refer to what the instructions look like. This thing's got stains on it, it's all beat up. I bought it this way. But what they were referring to was the rest of the pieces are almost near mint. But the instruction sheet looks like somebody washed it and possibly let a baby spit up on it. Can't be too careful with that. Alright, so the rest of the stuff, the character standees, I don't particularly like those. We were using Space Marines because they look cooler and they were easier to maneuver. These standees, they just don't do it for me. I'll show you what I mean in a little bit here. So you get equipment cards, weapon cards, and your regular cards. And then you got your map. Oh, a random token. And that's what's in the box. But the map here is folded differently than in the smaller box. So the smaller box one actually gets damaged a little easier, but the compact nature of the box keeps the box from getting crushed as much as this one does. And usually, my experience with these is that if the box gets crushed, so do the contents. So the taller box, even though it is slimmer and does fit on a shelf with some of the other stuff, does tend to get damaged more. Now, you do get more maps in the other boxes. Now, as you'll be able to see here a little bit, this is a very long map with lots of stuff on it. This is a teleporter down here. Can't even reach that because this thing's so big. Then you got different weapons and equipment that you can pick up. Of course, you got your acid. It plays a lot like Doom. So if you're old enough to remember Doom, the original, you'll get kind of an idea what you can expect. But the squares work great for 25 to 28 millimeter figures. So if you got a couple of Warhammer guys, especially 40K laying around, they're great for this. Now this paper is not terribly thick, So that is an issue, but what we did was we took a piece of plexiglass that somebody had laying around the shop they worked at, and we cut it to just slightly larger than this, and we put it over top, and we played on the map that way. And it was amazing. We could use dry erase markers on the plexiglass and draw little kill stains and whatnot. It was great. That's the map. I can't show you too much of it because I don't have a big enough table, unfortunately. This kitchen table is a lot smaller than my old one. But you can see different key card types that you would need to get in and out. Some doors have one way in, and you can't go out that way. You have to go out the other way, which lets your opponent run around and try and kill you. But the maps are cool. I really like the maps. If you're going to buy this game, try and track down the expansions too, because they really add a lot to the game. Alright, now give me 1 second to adjust the camera, and we'll zoom in and take a look at these cards. Okay, first let's look at the Standees and the tokens. Now, as I recall, this one is complete, so it'll give you kind of an idea of what you can expect. Try and find this in unused condition if you can, because it really does matter that the pieces are here. Alright, I've got an extra stand here for some reason. Now, what you've got is a bunch of numbered squares. And I believe they only go up to 10. And there should be 1 or 2 of each. Yeah, I think there's 2 of each. It's been a long time since I played this, but we played this game a lot. Because it was so fast-paced. We'd play it before D&D or before Cthulhu, and we'd get 2 to 3 guys playing at a time, because there was always 2 guys running late. So we'd play this before they'd show up. And like I said, I'm a huge fan of this game. It's nice and simple. It's dumb, fun, beer and pretzels kind of game. If you're looking for something you can play with just about anyone, this is a good game for it. We did have a guy who didn't like the gun aspect of it. He was a real anti-gun guy, but I think that was kind of a trivial issue that he wanted to make into a bigger one. So, I mean, there's no actual toy guns in this. It's just these little cardboard cutouts that represent weapons. So if you have somebody that's very anti-gun, this might not be a good game for them, obviously, because it's a first-person shooter as a board game. So let me get these organized a little bit, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Yeah, there's 2 of each for 1 through 10. And it looks like they're all here, so you can get kind of an idea of what you're looking at. So that's the gun tokens. Then there's the blood splotches. Now these, I believe you had to cut out of they were all one sheet, and you had to cut them out manually. They weren't perforated. And some of them look like little skulls. Now these are what happened when you frag someone, which is an old gamer term for killing someone in the game. And then when they respawn, they'd come back somewhere else, but you'd put one of these down where they died, and you could pick it up and use it as a health thing. Which really could bail you out more often than not. So one of them might be missing. But yeah, so there's about the same number of the blood splotches as there are the weapons. So there should be around 19 or 20 of them. I think there's supposed to be 20. I might be missing one. So that's the little tokens. Now, as far as the characters go, there's the Brick, there's Death Adder, Mangler, Sick Puppy, Homicide, and Shell Shock. And you'll note they all have a different color base, so you should be aware of that. Oh wait, there's the other token. It's hiding inside that character card. Ha! Same image on both sides. They're just standees. They're very cheap. Well, they're actually not that cheap. They're the same card stock as the tokens, but that's not that impressive. They're just, you know, the tokens you actually move less. So the standees should have been, I think, made a little bit higher quality. But I get where they were going with it. This game was like 30 or 40 bucks when it was new. And by today's standards, it's pretty primitive. But it's a quality game, but it's a lot better with miniatures. And I do believe that they released some miniatures for this. But I don't remember ever actually seeing them. So I might be misremembering, but I think they did make some kind of miniatures for this. We always use Space Marines, like I said. These are slightly taller, but it was easier to visualize what somebody could see with the Space Marine figure. So I'd recommend finding some kind of miniature to replace them. And for some reason I have an extra stand here. I don't know if that's supposed to be in here or not, but it says on the box there's only 6. But that's the 6 characters. So let's look at the cards real quick. Alright, we'll start with just the Frag Deck. And as always, be careful when you're pulling stuff out of these Ziploc baggies. I usually slide them a little bit so that they come out easier. Because if you scrape up the sides, they get kind of torn up. Alright, so first we have Game Hack, Assume Control, let you move another player. Lag, play at the beginning of any player's turn before that player respawns or starts movement. That player misses his turn. Automatic Miss, pretty obvious statement. Another automatic miss. Game Hack bonus damage. Game Hack cheat codes. Zigged when you should have zagged. So that turns a miss into a hit. Another lag card. A fumble. Game Hack teleportation. Zigged when you should have zagged again. Game Hack keep the stuff. This is for when you're fragged. All cards you have in play, including gadgets, remain in play when you respawn. That is a great card to have. Otherwise you got to run around and try and find a weapon. System upgrade, extra RAM. Game Hack magic bullet. No carrier. Freeze. Game Hack timing troubles. System upgrade, extra RAM. Game Hack cheater. Play at any time until the end of your next turn. All of your attribute scores are double their base values. Discard at the end of your next turn. Game Hack insubstantial. And lastly, no carrier. Play at any time on any player. That player is fragged instantly. No one scores the frag on their record sheet. That's basically a great way to get rid of somebody's weapons. Unless they have the card that lets them keep their weapon, that one kind of stinks. Now, the other expansions do add more cards to these decks. So, that changes a lot of the way the game's played. And one of them has a flamer in the pack, too. But I'm going to try and find those expansions. I know I've got copies of them somewhere. Alright, here's the weapons deck. And these are basically what you would expect from a weapons deck. We've got a needler, a beam pistol, a machine gun, a shotgun, chainsaw, and it's got the dice damage. These are D6s as I recall. So that's what that's about. Lightning blaster, and a lot of these have ammo, so when it runs out you gotta drop it, get a different weapon. Shotgun, machine gun, shotgun, assault cannon, shotgun, flamethrower, needler, beam pistol, heavy assault cannon, missile launcher, assault cannon, electromagnetic cannon, a chainsaw, beam pistol, machine gun, flamethrower, heavy assault cannon, machine gun, pulse rifle, needler again, another chainsaw, needler, lightning blaster, that was one of my favorites, electromagnetic cannon, beam pistol. Oh, there's another one of these in here. That's game hack theft. You can steal somebody's weapons. The portable nuke, one-time use, 9 dice. That's pretty much a guaranteed kill. The flamethrower, and lastly the beam pistol again. So sorry that one wasn't supposed to be in that deck. I'm usually pretty good about that, but you know, mistakes happen. And I haven't opened this in a decade. But the card quality is pretty good actually. They held up really well. The art isn't super impressive, but it doesn't really need to be. It's pretty standard stuff. So let's look at the gadgets deck. This is a green helmet deck, and it's the biggest deck, so there's quite a few cards here. So let's get this one out of the way and take a look at this. Yeah, the first expansion was called Deathmatch. I think the other one was called Fire Zone. It's been a while. I know Deathmatch was the first expansion. Alright, first up we've got a med pack. Then we've got another med pack. Another med pack. Energy reflector. Adrenaline surge. Energy shield. Speed boost. Another med pack. Another med pack. Enhanced med pack, which restores 2 health instead of 1. Med pack. Over under lets you combine 2 weapons into 1. The enhanced med pack. Another enhanced med pack. A regular med pack. Med pack. Med pack. The light armor. Played at any time, adds 1 to your health stat. You can only wear 1 suit of armor. Extra ammo. Speed boost. Med pack. Extra ammo. Over under. Speed boost. Rapid fire. Targeting system. Light armor. Extra ammo. Phase shift. Power leap, adrenaline surge, extra ammo, light armor, extra ammo, personal teleporter. Play in place of movement on your turn. You instantly teleport to any space on the game board. You may not make any other moves before or after you teleport. Discard after use. Trick fire. That's a good one if you're playing against 3 or 4 people. Then you can shoot 2 targets at once, and we would sometimes play with 2 or 3 characters each, and this was a great way to get 2 frags at once. And you win by getting frags, of course. Enhanced damage, that's another good card. There's another enhanced damage. Adrenaline surge, med pack, heavy armor. Played at any time, adds 2 to your health stat. You can only wear 1 suit of armor. Another light armor, exoskeleton. Played at any time, increases your speed and provides extra protection as well. +1 speed, +1 health, gives you an extra 2 spaces on any jump. Another heavy armor, extra ammo, adrenaline surge, which lets you have +3 health and +1 speed until the end of your next turn. Then your stats go down by that much. And if health is 0 or less, you're fragged. No one scores the frag. Targeting system. Played at any time on any weapon. All attacks with that weapon now have +1 die bonus to accuracy rolls. Another personal teleporter. Fireproof coating. You have to have armor in play. Adds to your existing armor. Flamethrower and acid attacks do no damage. Nuke attacks do -4 dice. Another trick fire. Heavy armor. Targeting system. Enhanced med pack. Adrenaline surge. And lastly, enhanced med pack. So it's mostly healing, but there's some really cool stuff hiding in there that can really reshape the way the game is played. Now, like I said, I really like this game. It's been a long time since I've got to play it, but it's one of my favorites from Steve Jackson. Just for the simple reason that it's easy and it's a lot of fun. So we were big Doom fans, of course, because we're all old. But yeah, there's a lot of play we got out of these box sets. There is a gold version of the game, but I have never been able to find a copy that was in good enough shape to be worth buying. But I'm probably going to try and track a copy down just to see how it compares with the regular version. And this one, yeah, this was $35 new. I believe it was the same price in the other box. I don't know why they would change it. I'm trying to see when this came out. But yeah, this is a great little game. It's kind of hard to find it now. I don't know why it just never really caught on. Probably because it was incredibly simple. And I'm one of the only people that likes a non-complicated game. This came out in 2001. Like I said, Steve Jackson Games. It's Frag. If it moves, shoot it. I highly recommend this game. I love playing this one. It's been a long time since I've got a chance to play it. It's been in storage for years. But now that I've got it out, probably going to play it a few times. But that'll do it for this episode. As always, thank you so much for watching and supporting the channel. And we hope to see you on the next episode of What's Inside.